This short video is going to be on searching and filtering and creating views in your SharePoint document library. We're going to be using the Learning Management site to demonstrate this. And as you can see, you've got some documents here and some FAQs. And I think I'll click in the folder called FAQs. And let's say I wanted to search for a file that has something to do with versioning. I'd like to learn about versioning of a document. I can come up here in the search and click. Notice it says search this library. So it's going to search this library based on what I type. Now, I'm not sure if I've got documents that say just version or versioning. So I think I'll put VERS and then a star, which is a wildcard, and then hit enter. And so what's going to come up are these two documents. One has the name version in the actual name of the document. And let's click on autosave here and let's see if version or versioning is in this document. And so this is opening in the browser, so the online browser, and I'm going to come up to this button here and click on the find and type in version and hit enter. And notice in the yellow, it is showing me that the word version is there several times in this document. So what does this prove? This proves that when you do a search, I'm going to close this file, everyone. When you do a search up here in the search bar and you're in either a folder or in a document library, it is going to look at the keywords or the letters and the wildcard that you put. It's going to search for a document with that word or letters in the name of the document as well as in the document content itself. So right now, let's try another one. Let's back this up. Let's hit enter. So all the files are here. And let's say I'm looking for a file about saving. So I'm going to type the word save, which is my keyword here, and I'm going to hit enter. And let's see what documents I get. A document about autosave, creating views, saving, and test. Well, let's click in the test document and let's prove once again that it is looking for the word save. So once this opens in the browser, I can again use the find. I'll type the word save. Let's see if it's in this document, and yes, it is. So again, when you do a search, you are searching in a document library. You can search for a keyword or part of a keyword and use a star. You can then use this X and then enter to bring all the files back in the folder that you were looking in. If there is, for example, a phrase that you would like to use and you're looking for a certain phrase, you'd put that phrase in quotes up here in this library. You can also filter your files, and filter means just show the files that are going to be important to you at this time. So notice I can use one of these columns. I'm going to find the area column here and click the down arrow. I am going to go to filter by. And when you go to filter by, you're going to be able to filter by any of the metadata that's in this particular column. And I'm going to say I would like to learn and find information about the OneDrive. And I'm going to click apply. So now what you're seeing are these few files that have the metadata that's been placed into this document in SharePoint library that says OneDrive. So these are all the documents in the area of OneDrive. So this is the information that I might be looking for. Now, let's say I always want to come into this particular document library, and in this case, it's the document library in the folder called FAQs, and we're looking for, you can see right here, the data called OneDrive. So we filtered it out. The rest of the files are still there, but they're not visible. And so now maybe every time I come into this document library, I would like to see a list of the documents that deal with OneDrive, because this is going to grow. People are going to put more information in about this particular topic. So what I can do here is all documents is the view that you're typically looking at, but because we just filtered, look what we can do. We can click all documents and save the view that you've filtered by and give it a name. So I'll call this OneDrive. Now notice here it says make this a public view, which means would you like everyone who comes into this site to be able to use this new filter that you created in this new view called OneDrive? Or do you only want it to be private to you so that you're making this view and that every time you log in, that view will be accessible to only you? So I'm going to make it a private view by taking the check mark off of public and click Save. So typically when you come into your document library, you would see here all documents. And here are all the documents in this FAQ folder. Then if you'd want to filter, instead of having to go and click the down arrow beside the column and do filter by, you've saved a filter, you've saved a view with that particular filter. So all you have to do is go here to all documents, and then notice it says OneDrive, and then the list will only show you the documents that are pertaining to information about the OneDrive. So again, let's go back up here to where it says OneDrive and toggle back to all documents. And let's make another view. So let's click the down arrow beside area. So that's what I'll be doing now. And I'll be clicking on filter by. And this time I'm going to say I'm looking for all the files that are informational about SharePoint Online. And I'll click apply. I'm going to focus my attention on all of these files here. These files have the SharePoint Online area metadata connected with these files. And so I'm going to come up here to all documents, save this view as SharePoint. I'll make it again a private view so that it's not seen by everyone, because I'm not sure if everyone's interested in doing this. So I'll click on Save. And then I'll come up. And again, most likely when you come in to your document library, you'll see it as all documents. When you want to narrow it down, in this case OneDrive, you click on OneDrive. You'd rather see the documents that deal about SharePoint and give information about SharePoint, you click on SharePoint and the list will change. You want to leave it so that all documents are visible. But again, remember when I click this down arrow here, the OneDrive and SharePoint are private views that you will be the one that only sees these private views unless you made those public when you were making the view. You can't go back and change the view to a public view if you've made it private or vice versa. You would have to create a new view for that. That is searching the library. That is filtering the documents, as well as saving views.